Right. So student, come back. See, tell me, student, do you have any doubt before we start? Doubts? I told you to will do the doubts of your dual nature of PYQ, right? So if you practice whatever the doubts you have from your side of PYQ, yesterday I sent, day before yesterday I've sent the file, right? From your side, if you have any doubts of PYQ, you send it to me. Pick, you send it to me, so I will discuss here. And before that, meanwhile, you think whatever the doubts you have, you send to me. And meanwhile, whatever we discussed in atoms, whatever we discussed in atom chapter, till now, whatever the concept. So, do you have any doubts regarding that? You tell me. Just I will, whatever the concept or wherever some any doubts are there, you just tell me. I will just revise before we start that. So, anything doubt in atom chapter, students? Nuclear radius, nuclear density, that we will discuss in the case of nuclei chapter. Next chapter it is from that next chapter. Nuclei chapter is there. In that nuclear density, nuclear size of nucleus. Size of nucleus already I said 10 to the power of minus 15 order, right? Size of atom is 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. So nuclear density, nuclear that everything that we'll discuss in nuclei chapter. Next chapter only it is. But whatever we discussed in atom chapter, that most of the concept, whatever we discussed in atom, that is already there in the chemistry. But still any doubt is there, you just tell me, I will just say that, and after that we'll move to the doubts of your. And meanwhile, you are not yet send any doubt of from PYQ of your dual nature. That means you don't have any doubt. Any doubt from atom chapter? Say yes or no. Or not yet come till from break. Students, are you there? Any doubt, boys and girls, tell me any doubt from atom chapter. If you have any doubts, you tell me. If don't, not having any doubt, it's a good. And no doubt is there, then we'll move to the whatever PYQ of your dual nature. But till now, nobody, even boys or girls, nobody sent to any doubts. That means either you are not practiced or you not got any doubts. Second one is better. If you're not having any doubt, that is a good only after practicing. No doubt. See, student, I'm not asking any question, right? I'm not forcing you to do this question or that. I'm asking you have any doubt or not. Yes or no. Simple. If yes, what is doubt? No means no, only simple. Then we'll move to the next one. Say, girls, do you have any doubt in atom? Okay, good. Did you practice the PYQ of dual nature? Say yes or no. PYQ of dual nature, have you practiced? Girls, are you there in the class? PYQ, I told you to practice. Yesterday, I given a chance to do that. Again, you are not did, I think. No doubts? Okay. See, look here. So yesterday I told something like some graphs we have in dual nature and matter, dual nature of radiation, right? So I told that like some concept I said, na 3-4 points I dictated, I wrote on the board. That's very important. And apart from that, look here, we have equations like Ke max is equal to energy of photon, that is h nu, minus work function pi. Okay. Next, one more, kinetic energy maximum, that is hc by lambda minus pi. Then look carefully. The graph of this one, if you take the graph of kinetic energy and h nu, if you take, so it is like look like y is equal to mx plus c model only there. So directly the graph between frequency versus kinetic energy, it will come straight line only come, but negative intercept it will come. So negative intercept straight line. Then this negative intercept work function it will give, directly work function it will give, right? Yes. But again, one more equation we have. This is for this. Then second, one more equation we have, kinetic energy maximum is equal to hc by lambda minus pi. This is second equation, right? So from this again, y is equal to mx plus c only, mx plus c only. But I am drawing a graph between lambda versus kinetic energy, not frequency. Lambda versus kinetic energy. Look here, lambda, 1 by lambda is there. In place of x, 1 by lambda is there, and kinetic energy. So 1 by lambda inversely proportional will come. So inversely proportional means as the lambda increases, kinetic energy decreases. As lambda decreases, kinetic energy increase. Normal. But exactly rectangular hyperbola we want to get because of minus pi or plus c in y is equal to mx plus c is there. So here hc by lambda minus pi is there here. That means if you want to suppose normally kinetic energy maximum inversely proportional to lambda is there directly. Nothing is there minus plus. Then lambda become infinity means kinetic energy become zero, right? Normally. This is infinity means this is zero, and this is zero means this is infinity in generally inversely proportional. But here to make this kinetic energy become zero, you don't want to make lambda become infinity. You don't want to make lambda become infinity. You can make it as exactly equal to pi. hc by lambda value is equal to pi. That is to take place the photoelectric effect lambda maximum I said. Lambda maximum is not an infinity value, right? Some certain value only for different material, lambda maximum will be present. Correct? So this is lambda maximum. That means this you cannot make this lambda to infinity to make the kinetic energy zero. So that's the reason if it is kinetic energy increase, definitely lambda increases, kinetic energy decrease, obviously. But graph is exactly not what you call rectangular hyperbola. Curve line will get, but not rectangular hyperbola. Like this. Clear? This is a graph of that. Similar. Again, here, same. Kinetic energy maximum is what you call Kinetic energy maximum. EV naught, right? EV naught is equal to h nu minus pi. For this graph, it will come potential, stopping potential versus frequency. Again, this is straight line only, but at this case, this value won't be V naught. So it become V naught by E. Pi by E will value will come. Work function by E value will come. Slope, it will going to be H by E. Slope. And this slope is H only directly. Correct? Yes or no? Again, the potential versus wavelength also, if you draw potential versus wavelength also, same graph will come. Means lambda versus stopping potential, if you draw, this is only will come, because kinetic energy directly proportional to stopping potential only. Same type of graph. Correct? Next, what are the graphs we have? Intensity versus photocurrent. So as I told, intensity 0 means no photons are there. More intensity, more number of photons. More number of photons, more number of electrons. That means current will be more. When intensity 0, current will be 0. So straight line. Correct? Yes. Next. So these are the graphs we have. Already remaining graphs yesterday I said, right? Or otherwise I'll draw. Normal graph between anode potential or anode simple potential and versus current. So that graph will be like this. This is stopping potential. This is saturation current. Depends upon intensity only. Correct? Yes. Next. One more graph is what? Intensity keeping constant. Intensity constant and frequency changing. F changing. What it is? Frequency constant means saturation current constant. Sorry, intensity constant means saturation current is constant, but they said frequency changing here. So here we can say V1 stopping potential, here V2. Then frequency 1, frequency 2. Correct? So we know potential, stopping potential directly proportional to frequency. So stopping potential V0 directly proportional to frequency. So we know this V2 greater than V1. So we can write from the graph V2 greater than V1 implies F2 greater than F1. Okay. Suppose here wavelength lambda 1 and wavelength lambda 2 given, assume. Then we know frequency inversely proportional to wavelength, right? Frequency inversely proportional to wavelength. Then implies V2 greater than V1 implies inversely proportional. F1 is greater, smaller means lambda 1 is greater. F2 is greater means lambda 2 should be smaller. So we can write here lambda 2 is smaller than lambda 1 because frequency inversely proportional to wavelength. Clear? All these graphs clear? Student, once you observe on the board any graph, any doubt is there, tell me. Everyone look at the board and any doubt is there, tell me in the graphs. Any doubt, tell me. Yes or no? This one, this, and this one, all the graphs are clear or any doubts? Are you there in the class? Students, are you there in the class? Is the graphs are clear or not? Say yes or no. Girls, tell me, is the graphs, all graphs are clear or not? Respond, everyone respond. Simply sitting in the class, what is the use of that? So you should respond, you should active in the class. Every day I'm saying, and every day you are doing same thing only. Right? PYQ practice, yes or no? Tell me, PYQ, have you practiced the PYQ? PYQ have practiced or not? Say yes or no. If you practiced, yes. Not practiced, no. Not did, I think. You are not responding means you are not did. It's a clear indication. Exam is there, right? Sunday exam is there. I told you to do that previous year questions. I have sent the file, right? So why you are not doing? See, one thing you remember, it's not like other subject. Physics is the until unless you not practice. If you have not practiced, you cannot learn the physics by reading. Reading is required, but only by reading you cannot learn the physics. By practice, whatever you learn, you need to practice by applying the formulas or concept for the numerical question. Then only more conceptual clarity. Because why we will say that you to practice the question mean by practicing the question, different concept, different formulas you apply in different way, so that more clear concept clarity will get. For the reason we ask you to practice. So practice is required from your side. Once you practice, whatever the doubt you bring it us, so we will discuss. Without practice, how we can discuss? Clear, student, what I mean to say? Let us. I think you are not yet practiced the PYQ. What you required photoelectric effect once mean the concept you want to revise or what? Tell me, somebody asked me that photoelectric effect. Once you said, what is that meaning? Once you want to explain the photoelectric concept or not? What do you need? Photoelectric effect concept you required or not? Tell me something. See here. See, I'll say, see, look here. Basically, photon is a particle of radiation. Photon is a particle of radiation. Radiation, electromagnetic wave. Radiation is a wave. Wave consists already wave nature, right? But wave consists of particle nature. That particle name only photon. The particle of wave or particle of radiation is photon. Its rest mass is 0. Yes. Energy E, h nu is a frequency, or hf, or hc by lambda, because it travels, it moves with c, that is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Correct? Its momentum P is equal to h by lambda. Okay, photon momentum, photon mass, photon energy, photon speed. Okay, right. Next, this photon intensity, basically intensity of radiation. Intensity of radiation is power by area, power per unit area, or energy per unit time into area, whatever you say. Watt per meter square or energy per unit area, joule meter square second. Intensity. If point source is there, point source intensity, because normally point source only asks, intensity is power by 4 pi r square, where r is distance from source. Intensity power by 4 pi r square, because 1 by r square, because point source we can consider spherical surface area. So power radiated per unit area is called intensity. So like an electric bulb of 20 watts, what is its intensity at equal to 2 meter from electric bulb? So power will be everywhere, it is same only, but intensity, the brightness will be different. So intensity different means, so that intensity you can calculate power 20 watt only, 4 pi r is 2 meter is given, 2 square you can write. If r is double, intensity will be reduced by 4 times, because square of that many times reduces. If r is become half of the value, intensity become double, sorry, 4 times. Intensity become 4 times. Next. Photon, basically radiation, particle of radiation is photon, and intensity of radiation is power by 4 pi r square. So what is intensity? Because I said a 20 watt electric bulb, everywhere from that bulb you take 20 watt only. Every time it will emit 20 watt radiation only, 20 watt energy only it will emit. But what is different at different point from source? For example, bulb is there here, source here. So every time it is emitting 20 watt only. But what is the difference of intensity here? Intensity here means number of photons reaching this area and number of photon reaching this area will be different, because of intensity is inversely proportional to r square. So number of photons here and number of photons are here is different. That is the reason brightness will be reduced. As we'll move away from the electric bulb, brightness reduces. That means number of photons reach to that particular area lesser than the nearest distance. So brightness or intensity or number of photons. So number of photon dependent on intensity. So as distance increases, intensity decreases. So number of photons also decreases. Distance decreases, intensity increases. So number of photons also increases. So this is relation between intensity and what you call number of photons. Intensity and number of photons. And number of photons per unit time. How many number of photons emit per unit time, that you can calculate, you see, energy, total energy of photon. Total energy of photon. This can be written as number of photon into each energy. That means n into h nu. Or this can be written as n into hc by lambda. This is total energy, E total. Total energy of photons by n number of photons. Total n number of photons are there. Then total energy will be n into hc by lambda. Right? Then intensity you want to define from here. Intensity I can be written as energy by time into area. Energy E, that is nhc by lambda into area. Correct? Yes or no? Or this can be written as I into A nhc by lambda. So I is intensity, A is area. Then n by t hc by lambda. So this n by t we call, I am taking small n, number of photons per second. Number of photons per second. So can I write here directly IA is equal to n into hc by lambda, or n can be written as IA lambda by hc. Correct? This is number of photons. Now look carefully here. I can be written as power, in terms of power, P by A. A will be cancelled out. N is equal to power into lambda by hc. This also, both the equation. Intensity given this formula, power is given this one. But you see, directly sometime they will ask, intensity directly proportional to 1 by r square. Intensity directly proportional to 1 by r square. So number of photon also directly proportional to 1 by r square, right? Because intensity directly proportional to intensity. So as intensity changes, so number of photon changes. Inversely proportional. Directly this relation also you can show. Correct? Then as we know that radiation consists of photons, each energy this much, photon momentum this much, each momentum, this don't consider it is power, it's a momentum only. Intensity this much, point source intensity like that, number of photon emitted like this. Okay. Now finally, photon, when it falls on the surface, when radiation falls on the surface, nothing but these many number of photons are falling per second. These many number, P into lambda by hc. P is the power. P is power. So these many number of photons are falling 1 second. So continuously photons are falling on the surface, continuously falling. Means what? Continuously it is falling on the surface. Means these photons exerting some force on the surface. These photons are exerting some force on the surface. So force exerting means pressure will be present. So that is only we call radiation pressure. Radiation pressure. So that is radiation pressure for complete absorption. Absorption. Complete absorption radiation pressure will be I by C into I by C. Pressure it is. Okay. For complete reflection, 2I by C. 2I by C. Then force, radiation force. Radiation force. That you can be again for absorption. Complete absorption will be IA by C, because pressure is equal to force by area, force is equal to pressure into area, IA by C. This can be I into A, power also we can write. Power by C also we can write. Force. For complete reflection, 2IA by C, that is 2 into power by C. Is it clear? This is complete description about photons. Complete description about photons. If they ask the question related to photon, number of photons, energy, radiation pressure, radiation force, or intensity, how it is intensity varying, or momentum of photon, etc., etc. Any question related to photon, from this only they may ask, right? And once we know the force we know, momentum you can calculate, change in momentum you can calculate, that force is equal to change in momentum by time. They will mention in the question time, they will mention. So that 30 seconds, 30 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, what is the change in momentum they will ask. So simply force you calculate, multiply with the time, that is change in momentum will get. Clear? So this is the area where photons related questions. Any doubt you ask me. Once you see the board, any doubt you tell me. Then after I will say photoelectric effect. How to relate it, the photoelectric effect also I will say. First, is it clear everything which is there in the board? About photon is clear? Tell me. Everybody is clear? Tell me. Because photon is travel with the speed of light. Photon is travel with the speed of light. It is a special kind of particle. Special kind of particle, not like electron, not like proton, not like neutron. Like it is a special kind of particle because it is experimentally proved. Experimentally proved, because a wave, a radiation, a wave can has particle also. Particles also. Correct? So this wave nature has particle nature. This wave has particle nature. So already wave has wave nature. Wave has frequency, wave has wavelength. Already it has wave nature. But dual nature, dual, our chapter is dual nature only. Dual nature. That wave has a particle nature. So already wave has a wave nature. It has frequency, wavelength, etc. But this wave has a particle also. Particle means it has momentum, it will have a force, it will have intensity, etc. That you can calculate by this number of particles in a particular radiation, like this. And it is a special kind of particle, not like our regular matter particle, regular electron, regular proton, not like that. It's a specially. So experimentally is found that its rest mass is 0. Whenever it travel with the speed of light, it may have moving mass, but it has no rest mass. Clear? Girls, anything doubt in about photon? Tell me. Any doubt? Tell me about photon. Say yes or no, you tell me. That also you are not able to say. This is about entire thing about photons. Photon radiation, photon pressure, photon force, photon number of photon calculation, intensity of photon, energy of photon, etc., etc., etc. Clear? Say yes or no. Now see the question how they will ask, tell me, I will say. So whether you are able to do or not, you tell me. See, suppose if they ask the question, example, I'm saying orally, I'm saying, so whether you are able to say by using this information or not, you tell me. Suppose there is a there is a 20-watt electric bulb is there. 20-watt electric bulb is there. Okay. 20-watt electric bulb, which is radiate a photon, see, orally I'm asking, 20-watt bulb of photon lambda is equal to 4000 angstrom, the given. A 20-watt electric bulb, okay, as a emitting a radiation of photon of wavelength 4000 angstroms. 4000 angstroms. Okay. Then number of photon emitted by this electric bulb. Number of photons emitted by this electric bulb. Number of photons emitted by this electric bulb per second. Can you able to calculate or not? They ask question, 20-watt electric bulb of photon wavelength 4000 angstrom emitting a radiation continuously. So how many number of photon it can be emit per second? If they ask question, can you calculate? Yes or no? Simple. The information which is there on the board, based on that I'm asking yes or no. I'm not asking you to calculate, but are you getting my idea? You are getting how to calculate that? Tell me, are you getting the idea? How to calculate? 20-watt bulb, power is given, wavelength also given. So directly number of photons related to intensity, direct formula is there. Power lambda by hc. H is Planck constant on the c speed of light, p the given, lambda you can find out. Next. Same question only. Look, 20-watt bulb, a photon of 4000 angstrom is emitting continuously. The number of photons, clearly listen. The number of photons from this electric bulb at a distance of 1 meter are n per second. Number of photon emitted by this electric bulb at a distance of 1 meter from this is n. Okay, n. Then what will be the number of photons emitted by the same electric bulb at a distance of 2 meter will be n dash. So what is n dash? Can you calculate? Tell me. Can you calculate? Second question I am asking that 20-watt electric bulb, there is a 1 meter distance, one point is there where n number of photons are emitting per second. Then at the same electric bulb at 2 meter distance, n dash number of photons are emitting. Can you calculate what is n dash value? Means how many times reducing, how many times increasing. So it is intensity related question. N is 1 by r square. So r is double there. So n become 1 by 4. So n dash become n by 4. Because 4 times intensity reducing. So here n is directly proportional to intensity. So 4 times reducing means n by 4. Simple question. Simple concept question only. If you see last 3-4 years of NEET examination paper, you check simple type of question only, but concept is required. Simple only. Clear? So if they ask the question like related to momentum or related to force or pressure, an electric bulb of 20 watt, it's falling on a surface area of 10 centimeters square for the duration of 10 minutes. For the duration of 10 minutes. A radiation is coming from 20-watt electric bulb falling on a surface of area 10 centimeters square. So for duration of 10 minutes, what is the momentum transferred to the surface? What is the momentum transferred to the surface? Can you able to do? Question I'm repeating. A 20-watt electric bulb emitting a radiation which is falls on a surface area of 10 centimeters square for the duration of 10 minutes. So what is the momentum transferred to the surface in 10 minutes? So momentum transfer they're asking. So force I know. Force I know. Then by using the force equation. So at first I will calculate force exerted on the surface, multiply with the time, I will get momentum transferred. Clear? So that means we can able to do any type of question related to photon. Any type of question related to photon. Right? Remember one point here. Number of photon increases per second. Number of photon increases per second. In photoelectric effect, number of electron will increase. Number of electron increase means current will increase. Yesterday I said that point, right? So number of electron increases, number of photon increases, number of electron increase, number of electron means current will increase. Related that. This point related to electron also in photoelectric effect. The same equation. Because n is proportional to number of photoelectrons there. So that means any type of question, if they ask any way related to power, related to pressure, related to number of photons, number related to intensity, anything, we can able to do it. Correct? This energy is equal to ht by lambda. Short trick you can use 12400 by lambda in angstrom. Electron volt will come. Clear? Everybody clear about photon? Everybody clear about photon? Yes or no? So if you are clear, so briefly I will say matter wave also, de Broglie wavelength I will say. Then after that we will discuss briefly photoelectric effect. Tell me. Right. Look here. This is about photon. So we got a clear picture on photon concept and formulas. Any question come from photon, this area only. Clear? Now coming to de Broglie wavelengths. Let us look here. After that, photoelectric effect we'll discuss. Somebody sending the doubts, we will discuss, don't worry. But briefly, we'll finish this one, then we'll come back to that. Look here. De Broglie wavelength or de Broglie matter wave. Wavelength. What is de Broglie wavelength means? Reverse. Radiation has a particle nature because it has already wave nature, right? So it has a particle nature, particle named as photon, photon exert pressure, etc. we discuss, right? Then normal waves, normal matter. One second. Sorry. So now coming to de Broglie wavelength. What is de Broglie means? Imagine that how radiation has particle nature. So similar to that, a matter nothing but normal object like a car, a man running, man, a car, aeroplane, whatever it is, moving object. Matters. Object means matter. That matter may be particle also, like electron, proton, neutron, charged particle, non-charged particle, anything. So any matter similar to the radiation has two nature. Radiation has two nature, wave as well as particle. Similar to that, matter already has a particle nature. Matter is consist of many particles, right? Yes. This matter should also have wave nature. Based on the imagination, what is similar to the radiation? So de Broglie imagined that the matter should have same wave nature only. Yes. So it should have wave nature means it should have wavelength. Yes. So that wavelength only given by de Broglie, called de Broglie wavelength. So according to this, the de Broglie wavelength of matter waves is h by p. And remember, matter as wave nature only when it is in state of motion only. When only when it is in state of motion, then only it behaves like a wave nature, or it has wavelength. It is rest means it not going to be have any wave. It won't emit any wave. Clear? Matter has wave nature only when it is in state of motion. Clear that point? Yes. When it is in state of motion means momentum is there, definitely. Yes, matter has a mass. State of motion means it has a velocity. M into V is the momentum. So this is called momentum. Momentum, that is M into V, mass of matter into V, velocity of matter. So lambda is equal to h by mv. When V is 0, when state of rest, V is 0, mv is 0. Lambda is 1 by 0, infinity will come, but it won't be considerable. So wave nature is as only in motion, h by mv. Okay, next. So a moving particle as a wave nature, a moving matter as wave nature means moving particle has kinetic energy, it has momentum, moving particle has velocity. So in terms of momentum, this is a wavelength. In terms of velocity, this is a wavelength. Then in terms of kinetic energy, I'm writing kinetic energy as E. Kinetic energy, I'm writing is E. So we know E is equal to what? P square by 2m. If you remember in first year, P square by 2m. Yes, P square by 2m. P we know here. So from this, P is equal to root over 2me. Yes, 2me. That means whenever particle moving with the velocity v, it has a momentum v. So whenever it has a momentum v, it has also kinetic energy E, that is equal to root over 2me. So in terms of kinetic energy lambda, I can write h by 2me root. Clear? Yes. Lambda is equal to h by 2me. E is a kinetic energy, not energy. Kinetic energy. But charged particle or uncharged particle will be present. For a charged particle, kinetic energy we can write for charged particle like electron, like proton, like alpha particle, like deuteron, like that. Charged particle energy is equal to generally Q into V. V is the charge of particle. V is the accelerating potential, because whenever potential is applied, electric field will be created. Because of electric field, charged particle move or accelerate. So that accelerating potential only V we call. V is a potential, not speed. Okay, Q into V. Then the lambda of that matter waves or charged particle 2m QV. V is a potential. Okay. So that means for the charge, lambda is directly proportional to 1 upon Q into V. That is, lambda of charged particle depends upon its charge as well as its potential. As well as it has its potential. Because if there is no potential is there. If there is no potential means charge particle can't move. Right? So charge particle not moving means it has no momentum. It has no momentum means basically no wavelength of matter waves. So like that, it should have charged potential or potential, accelerating potential. So lambda inversely proportional to Q into V, charge and potential. Okay. Next. For electron, lambda of electron, we have 12.28 by root V angstroms. And lambda of proton, we have 0.286 by root V angstrom. This is direct formula for electron and proton only. Otherwise, normally you can calculate from here. Okay. Angstroms, remember that is in angstrom. V is in electron volt. Electron volt or volt only normal. Even electron volt. Next. Charged particle lesson. For uncharged particle, for uncharged particles. For uncharged particle, kinetic energy basically K into T, where K is a Boltzmann constant, T is absolute temperature. Nothing but Kelvin scale temperature. Kelvin scale. So we can write lambda is equal to H by 2 m. In place of E, I should write K into T root over. Yes or no? Yes. So uncharged particle, lambda is inversely proportional to m into T, root over m into T. Sometimes here mass is given, charged particle mass also given. So it depends upon mass also, right? Because alpha particle electron, alpha particle proton is given, their mass also variable. Right, m into T. T is the temperature. If m is constant, lambda is inversely proportional to temperature only. But make sure that it should be in Kelvin. Right? But for ideal gas, so E can be kinetic energy of ideal gas. Root means square velocity will be present there. So ideal gas, that E can be written as kinetic energy 3 by 2 kT. 3 by 2 kT. 3 by 2 kT. Or generally we can write F by 2 kT will write. Degrees of number of degrees of freedom will be right. Generally F by 2 number of degrees of freedom, F by 2 kT will write. Right? For monoatomic gas, it will be 3 by 2 kT will write. So 3 by 2 kT means in place of kT, 3 by 2 kT will write. 2 cancel, 3 kT will come. Clear? So this is de Broglie wavelength of matter waves. Lambda is equal to h by p, momentum. Whenever it has momentum, it has lambda. That lambda you can calculate it by using direct momentum, or it can be calculated by velocity, or it can be calculated by kinetic energy, or it can be calculated for charged particle by using charge and potential, for uncharged particle by using temperature, and ideal gas also temperature. Clear? And one more is there, de Broglie wavelength for stationars. Both second postulate. That is, circumference of that 2 pi r of the orbit is equal to n into lambda. N into lambda. But we know in atom chapter we studied r is 0.53 n square for hydrogen atom. 0.53 n square, or we can write r is equal to 0.53 n square by z. Z is the atomic number. If I substitute here directly, I will get 2 pi into 0.53 n square by z, that is equal to n lambda. N cancel out. So directly the lambda can be calculated by 2 pi into 0.53 n by z. In angstrom it will get n by z directly. What is the wavelength of electron emitted? De Broglie wavelength of electron emitted in third orbit of H atom or second orbit of helium. You can directly calculate. Lambda is equal to 2 pi 0.53 n by z. But remember that lambda in angstrom. Lambda is in angstrom. Look once, de Broglie wavelength. Lambda is equal to h by p by using kinetic energy, by using charge, temperature, and finally by Bohr condition, Bohr second postulate. Sometimes they will ask number of waves emitted in first orbit, second orbit, third orbit also they will ask. So number of waves can be lambda is equal to n is given here. So that you can also, we can tell. Number of n lambda, 2 pi r is equal to n lambda. Right? So any doubt, tell me regarding the de Broglie matter wavelength. Any doubt once you see the board, any doubt you ask me. Is it clear now? Everyone clear the what is written on the board? Somebody asking me the electron volt it is. Electron volt, like joule, we have a unit of energy joule, SI unit of energy is joule. Apart from joule, we have earth, we have calorie, we have kilowatt hour, and we have electron volt also. So electron volt is also a unit of energy. Unit of energy. So in terms of potential, the work done is Q into V, or energy is Q into V. So if 1 volt you supply for electron to move around a circuit, in a circuit, so what is the work done by battery on that electron? That only 1 electron volt we call. Generally 1 EV electron volt is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. That means when 1 volt voltage you supply, the amount of work done will be Q into V, right? This is where I wrote here Q into V energy, Q into V. So for electron E, we are supplying 1 volt. So 1 volt, 1 electron volt. So electron is 1.6 in 10 to the minus 19 charge into 1 volt you are supplied into 1 only. So that is joule. So conversion of unit only, that is. Another unit of energy. Electron volt is another unit of energy, which is 1.6 in 10 to the power minus 19 joule. Or 1 joule is 1 by 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Is it clear? Generally in atoms, nuclei energy, atom energy measured in electron volt. Atomic energy and nuclear energy measured in electron volt only. So remember that relation. So coming to this is everything is clear. Yes or no? Everyone tell me. Yes, lambda is a wavelength. N into lambda means number of wavelength. So in particular orbit of circumference 2 pi r, that will be emit n into lambda wavelengths. N is a number of wavelength into lambda is a wave. Now look, how the questions they will ask. Questions. Simple question, you see. A particle travel with a particle of mass m. A particle of mass m travel with the velocity v. A particle of mass 20 gram. A particle of mass 20 gram moving with the velocity of 10 meter per second. 10 meter per second. What is it de Broglie wavelength? What is it de Broglie wavelength? Can you able to do or not? I repeat the question. A particle of mass 20 gram moving with the speed of 10 meter per second. 10 meter per second. What is it de Broglie wavelength, or what is it wavelength? Can you calculate? Yes or no? Tell me. I'm not asking you to calculate now, but yes or no. Are you getting the idea of what you need to do? for that question? Yes or no, you tell me. And whatever you require, that is there on the board. If you want, you can note down also. Simple, what we need to do? Mass is given, speed is given. Planck's constant we know, mass we know, they given 20 gram. We don't know meter per second, but 20 gram convert into kg. Just we'll get the lambda. Okay. Next, one more type question. The ratio of de Broglie wavelength, the ratio of de Broglie wavelength of proton, de Broglie wavelength of proton and helium or alpha particle. Proton and alpha particle. The ratio of de Broglie wavelength of proton and alpha particle. When it is applied 50 volt voltage. I'm repeating question. The ratio of de Broglie wavelength of proton and alpha particle when we apply a 50 volt accelerated potential. 50 volt accelerated potential. So can you able to do the ratio of de Broglie wavelength for alpha proton and alpha particle for when we apply 50 volt potential, accelerating potential? Are you getting idea what you need to do? Yes, are you getting idea? Lambda ratio they want to calculate. Lambda is equal 1 by m q v. V is constant only, potential they said constant because 50 volt accelerated potential they applied. But mass of proton is different, charge of proton different, mass of alpha different, charge of proton alpha is different. So based on this, remember charge of alpha 2 times of proton, mass of alpha 4 times of proton. Generally, that is in chemistry you know very well about that. If they given sometime, suppose they given what is electron wavelength when we applied 50 volt accelerated potential. So direct formula. Proton direct formula. Okay, this is ratio, direct substitution or ratio. Next, coming to that, here what they will give here in terms of charge. Okay, it is entering into electric field. When it is entering into electric field, okay, charge particle like electron, like a proton, they enter into electric field. When it is enter into electric field, what is it? De Broglie wavelength they will ask. So when it is enter into electric field means what? Electron or proton is there. When it is enter into electric field, definitely it will experience a force. When it is experience a force, force is equal to Q into E. Force is equal to Q into E. And because of this force, the particle will be accelerate. So acceleration A is equal to QE by M, that is proton, electron. So because this acceleration, every time with respect to time, velocity will be changed. With respect to time, velocity will be changed because accelerating, velocity changes. So velocity change means momentum changes. Momentum change means lambda changes. So lambda you can calculate by using that. At any time t, what is the wavelength if they ask? So at any time velocity you calculate by using v is equal to u plus at. At any time velocity you calculate because acceleration q by m is given. And they will give initial velocity and a we know and t we know. At any time velocity you calculate and substitute here m into v, de Broglie wavelength you will get. Clear? That means whenever electron moving in electric field also, or proton moving in electric field, or alpha particle moving in electric field, we can able to find time varying wavelength because electric field exert force, so definitely various it is. So time varying wavelength also you can find. Clear? How to calculate is clear like this. Clear? Next, charged particle. For uncharged particle, basically they will ask ratio only. So directly inversely proportional to m and t. Mass and temperature only directly. Ratio. For the ideal gas also kT, Boltzmann constant and ratio they will ask. Is it clear? Related to de Broglie wavelength is clear, or the area how they will ask questions also clear? Yes or no? No, one proton mass. Alpha particle mass is 4 times of proton mass. Alpha particle charge is 2 times the proton charge. Right. So this is about de Broglie wavelength. Now look briefly photoelectric effect concept we will discuss. Alpha particle mass. Why you are confusing in that? M of alpha is equal to 4 times of M of proton. Q of alpha is equal to 2 times of Q of proton. This is relation. Electron is electron only. Electron charge is how much? 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. Proton charge also same only. Proton charge, electron charge same only. But masses are different. Masses are different. Right. Coming to photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect. What is photoelectric effect? Before that, I will say cathode rays means negative charge rays. Electron beam is cathode rays. Remember that. Some basically they will ask question means cathode rays means remember electrons only. Beam of electrons. Simple. Right? These electrons emit in discharge tube experiment when low pressure and high potential difference you apply. High potential difference and low pressure you apply. So electron will emit in discharge tube experiment. That electron beam only we call cathode rays. Right? Then there is a little bit oil drop experiment. Millicon oil drop experiment is just what is Millicon oil drop? Basically, Millicon oil drop experiment, they found the electron charge. Experimentally, they calculate charge of electron. Experimentally, charge of electron they found. Then how they found mean basically there is a 2 plates will be present. One is positive plate, other one is negative plate. And there is a oil drops will be dropped from here. Oil drops. Like this drops will be drops. Drops will come. So these drops can be have moving. It can be move up and down according to their charges. Or it may be stationary inside the plates also. Suppose drop is there here. Drop. One drop is there. Suppose this drop has a liquid drop model, right? Liquid drop has positive charge, so it will go towards negative plate. Or the liquid drop has negative charge, then it will go towards positive charge, positive plate. Suppose it is kept rest only. Suppose it is stationary. For example, third one is stationary. Stationary, rest only, not moving down, not moving up. What is that meaning? Not moving up, not moving down means it is in equilibrium position. That means downward mg force will act. Then upward some kind of force should be balanced. Then only it will be rest. That is Q into E force, that is electrostatic force, because electric field is there here. Electric field is there, positive plate, negative plate means electric field like this will be present. Correct? Yes or no? So the charge is at rest means QE, that the electrostatic force must be equal to mg. In Millicon oil drop experiment, the oil drops will be fall. Fall means under gravity falling. So mg will be present. So mg. So it is in stationary position mean for stationary position in between plates. So condition is QE is equal to mg. Correct? QE is equal to mg. Or you can say, for example, you see, I will just simple question I will ask based on this. This is positive plate. This is negative plate. So that electric field is in downward direction. And one drop, we don't know the charge, but it is stationary, rest. Tell me, what is the charge of that drop? Question is clear? This is a positive plate, this is a negative plate. Electric field is downward because positive to negative. So this is a drop, rest only there in between the plates. Which charge should be present for that drop so that it will be rest? And we know rest means QE is equal to mg. Answer it. What charge should be present? It should be a neutral or negative charge or positive charge. This should be a neutral or negative or positive charge. Neutral or positive or negative? Positive or negative? Neutral or positive or negative? See, one thing is clear. This drop is it rest between the plates of plates. So rest means one thing is clear. Downward mg is acting. So it should be rest means the another force should act on this drop in upward direction to balance it. Because I wrote here for rest means Q is equal to mg. If it is a neutral, charge elect means there is no force due to electrostatic force. So it should not be a neutral one. If it is neutral, definitely fall down only. Definitely fall down. It should not be a neutral. If it is neutral, only mg will be present, comes down only definitely. But it is stationary means what? That another force is balanced by mg, and that should be act this direction. That force should be act this direction. We know electric field is there. So electric field force will be Q into E. If Q is a positive charge, same direction of electric field F will be present. If Q is a negative charge, opposite to the direction of electric field. Then if it is a positive charge, downward only F will become. So it's not possible to rest. So it should be a negative charge. So F should be minus Q into E. So Q should be negative charge there. The charge of this drop should be negative. Clear? It's not neutral. Neutral means definitely should fall only, come down only because of gravity. Right? So charge is particle only, but negative charge. Okay? Suppose if they given here negative charge, here positive charge. Okay? At that time, here negative is given, here positive is given, plate. Here negative, here positive is given. At that time, what? Positive charge particle. At that time, the charge particle is positive. Is that concept is clear? Yes or no? Both side negative won't be present. Both plates should be not be negative. Both are one positive, one negative will be present. In experiment, it is oil drop experiment. Both should be, one is positive, other one is negative only present. Clear? Coming to photoelectric effect concept, you see. In photoelectric effect, basically, there is a cathode plate, there is an anode plate. This is connected with a battery. Okay. V volt, emitter, here, anode, cathode, or collector, emitter, and here some radiation is falling. HNU energy, photons are falling. So photons carry some energy, which is E is equal to HNU energy will carry. Then and cathode plate, metal plate only present, basically cathode plate, metal plate. So whenever this photon will fall on the metal plate, whenever these photons of certain energy of HNU is fall on the metal plate, so we know that like electron is absorb sufficient energy, means it will come out from the metal surface. So this photon will, certain energy of photon is falling on the metal surface. So by absorbing this photon energy, electron will emit. So these emitted electron generally, they travel towards, because if negative charge is there, anode is positive potential is there. So it is attracted towards anode. So this electron will travel towards anode. And emitted electron, when photon fall on metal plate, electrons are emitted by absorbing this energy. Then it is travel towards the anode because of attraction of the anode plate. So attracting towards anode, and it will moving means this motion of electron produce photo current or simple current or photocurrent, and these electrons are called photoelectrons. The electron emitted in metal plate in cathode is called photoelectron by falling of photon, and the current is called photocurrent. But thing is, whatever the photon is falling on the metal surface, whatever the energy of photon is falling on the metal surface, always we are not absorbing an emission of electron. No. So there should be minimum energy should fall on the metal surface, then only electrons are emitting. So this minimum energy related to the nature of material, that is called minimum energy work function is called. And that is H nu minimum. Minimum frequency or minimum energy should be found. Clear? So a minimum wave frequency of photon should be fall on the metal surface, then only emission of electron will be present. Not for all the frequencies or not for all the energies. Only a certain minimum frequency or minimum energy required to get electron from metal surface. Clear? Minimum energy. If electron will move towards the anode, then if you want to get a current, electric current you want to get, so emitted electron should travel towards the anode. So emitted electron travel towards the anode means after emission still it has some energy. After emitting of electron from metal, the electron should have some energy, right? So that further you need to supply not this minimum energy, you need to supply minimum greater than this energy. So we'll get, if H nu is greater than H nu minimum, this is incident energy of photon and this is a minimum energy required. That is work function we call. If your energy is greater than this one, minimum energy required or work function, then current we will absorb, current not zero. Or electron will move towards the anode because of little bit an extra energy you are supplying. So after taking this much of energy by electron, the remaining converted as kinetic energy. So that means current will be present. If you supply, if H nu exactly equal to H nu minimum, then current won't be present. Means electron will emit but not move towards anode. So in that case, current will be zero. or you can say here maximum velocity will not be zero. Here velocity will be zero. Electron has no more velocity, but here some velocity is there. Correct? Like. So that means we required a photon should be fall on the metal plate. A photon should be fall on the metal plate, should be greater than work function. Then only photocurrent will be absorbed. Then only photocurrent will be absorbed. If the photon energy exactly equal to work function, photoelectric effect takes place. Electron will emit but not move because kinetic energy becomes zero. Whatever energy you supplied, it utilized for emission only, just emitted only. So no more kinetic energy. So rest. So it can't go to collector plate or it can't go to anode plate. So that's the reason it won't cause any current. So their current will be zero. So to get the current, the minimum energy, you need to supply more than the work function. If you exactly equal to supply, photoelectric effect takes place, but no current will be produced. If H nu is smaller than H nu minimum, then no photoelectric current, no photoelectric effect, and no current, obviously, because photoelectric effect only not taking place. That is, there is no question of electron emitting. There is no question of electron emitting means emitted electrons are not there. Whether it will move or not, there is no question. That means definitely no current, no photoelectric effect. Correct? This is photoelectric, how the electron emitting. Correct? But still, whatever the electron, when if this case you take, whenever you take this case, whatever the electron emitted, all the emitted electron will reach to anode means no. Some of them reach, some of them not reach. Because of internal collision, some of them before reach the anode, they will come to rest, and some of them will come. So that means the all kinetic energy of photoelectron will not be same. All the kinetic energy of photoelectrons are not same. Even the photon energy is greater than the work function. Even the photon energy greater than the work function. All the photoelectron do not have same kinetic energy. That will be vary from 0 to maximum. 0 to maximum. Some of them as initially stay at cathode plate only. Some of them come to here. Some of them come to here. Some of them come to anode plate. That means it is vary from 0 to maximum. Kinetic energy vary 0 to maximum value. Anything value will be present for photoelectron. Right? This maximum energy only we can write in terms of EV naught, that is kinetic energy maximum, or of mv max square. V naught is stopping potential. Clear? Then according to Einstein photoelectric equation, the energy which you supply utilized for work function to emit the electron from metal, and remaining energy utilized for maximum kinetic energy. Remaining energy utilized for maximum kinetic energy. So according to that, H nu is equal to H nu minimum, that is work function plus kinetic energy maximum. Or this can be written as Hc by lambda and Hc by lambda maximum, not minimum, plus kinetic energy maximum. This is photoelectric equation. That is minimum frequency required for the emission of electron, and lambda should be maximum. That is incident photon should have minimum equal to maximum wavelength or lesser than maximum wavelength only. If photon wavelength is smaller than this, photoelectric effect takes place, current also produced. If lambda is greater than this lambda max, no photoelectric effect takes place. Lambda equal to lambda max, photoelectric effect takes place, but no current. Clear? The remaining graphs and questions already we I said, right? Graphs, how the graphs will be present for this and this. So this is very basic concept in that. So is it clear? Those who asked me that photoelectric effect, is it clear or any doubt is there? Rest of the things, formulas only already we discussed. Formulas and the graphs, just I said today, graphs, all the graphs. Is it clear? Photoelectric effect, still anybody doubt is there? Tell me. So the doubts, whatever you sent, it will be discussed in tomorrow doubt session class. Okay. So today I clearly cut a given clear picture on photoelectric effect, dual nature of matter, photon, photoelectric effect, and de Broglie wavelength. So based on this concept, do the practice, whatever the question from dual nature of matter from your module or PYQ, everything you practice. The doubts will be discussed in tomorrow doubt session. Clear? Then atom questions also will discuss tomorrow. So doubts will be discussed tomorrow. Your doubts will be discussed tomorrow. Somebody already completed the question from dual nature. It's a good. You can practice atom questions from your module. From your module, you practice atom questions. So we will discuss the doubts. Clear? Any more from photoelectric effect? Those you asked me, is it clear photoelectric effect? Still you have doubt? Those you asked me the photoelectric effect, is it clear or still you required any other information? Say. Right. So practice the entire dual nature today, because already we clearly revised the dual nature matter. Revise or practice your question, PYQ question I have sent, you practice, or your module question you practice, or any other book you can practice. But send whatever the doubt you have, early you send, so that I can discuss very simply as class started. So before 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. you can send the doubts, whatever the doubts. See, if you send the doubt, that only I will discuss. Okay. Otherwise, I won't discuss anything from dual nature. We'll discuss directly from atom chapter only. If really you practice today dual nature, then you have sent the doubts, I will discuss. Otherwise, directly we'll discuss atoms questions only. Clear? Because atoms also 20% of questions will come in Sunday exam. Clear? Right.